path, and then you've just got a bunch of people. And was it really isolated on YouTube, or did you kind of experience it like everywhere else as well?
Like with the hate?
Yeah, I guess at like that time. I mean nowadays I would say it's everywhere probably.
Yeah,
But like back when it
definitely.
like Onision was really going hard at you, like did you just really feel it on YouTube, or did it kind of spill out?
YouTube was definitely a big place where I for sure felt it. And I guess like Twitter too. I feel like Twitter, it can, I mean, I kind of feel like Twitter has kind of gotten more toxic throughout the years in a
Yeah.
way.
Oh, I hate
Like people,
Twitter.
oh, I do too. I don't even spend that much time on it because I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just so toxic
Hmm.
sometimes. It's crazy. But I guess like I kind of feel like, like he's on Twitter too. And
Yeah.
he's also, I think was on Instagram. I don't know. Like you kind of will see the comments kind of spill over like from there too. And people will
Hmm.
also kind of come over and like, I guess like also be pretty mean on your other platforms.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like it's too bad because like it's that kind of like I don't know, like everywhere you go, it's like
Do you kind
people
of like
just kind of
detach, like when you read these things, like let's say you went on your phone right now and you looked at your YouTube comments, so you see a bunch of crap. Do you kind of like, because I feel like I've learned like techniques almost or skills to mentally detach myself from like some of those things, because like at first I guess when I started it could eat you up, it could ruin your entire day. So do you like sometimes like find yourself just reading these things and feeling like nothingness or feeling numb because like you've seen so much of it that you've learned to like.
I'm 65 and I don't look like myself anymore. Do I need a facelift? Well, listen, as we age, there is a particular hormone that is converted to the aging hormone, to dihydrotestosterone or DHT.
It gets even worse once you hit menopause because that balance of hormones is completely gone.
So, if you want to improve the texture of skin, I would say it's by inhibiting that hormone. Even if you can't make it into a plastic surgery office, there is a method out there to essentially reduce the conversion of DHEA to DHT that can ultimately improve the quality of your skin. Let's try an experiment. If the skin on your face looks loose and wrinkled, or just seems to hang lower than it used to, here's what I want you to do. Use 2 fingers, pinch the skin right below your knuckles for about 6 seconds. Okay, now let go. If it stays puckered or doesn't flatten out right away, then the sagging you see up here is likely caused by an internal issue. And believe it or not, this is actually good news, because it also means you don't need a bunch of expensive creams to help tighten its appearance. Really, in fact, you may even be able to get better results without them. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but as a scientist, this is one of the best tips I can give you. So if you want to help your skin look more lifted and actually see a real difference, let me show you what I recommend doing at home instead. Hey there. They won't let me play any more of this video, but you can watch the rest for free by clicking the Learn More button below, where I'll show you one at-home solution you can use to fight the look of wrinkles. Taking this one specific solution can help you deal with sagging skin, wrinkles, and other signs of aging while giving you more confidence in your day-to-day life. Don't wait. Finish the video by clicking the Learn More button right now.
I guess detach from that.
I think to some degree because I think like sometimes like when you're just like I guess you get kind of used to it in a way
Hmm.
because you just kind of get so used to people like, hating and thinking all these horrible things about you and
Hmm.
reading the same comments like, over and over. And I guess you've just kind of heard it so many times
Yeah,
that it's like
lose its meaning.
exactly. Like I
Yeah.
think there's still stuff that like sometimes like it can be hurtful and then especially like some days if you're reading like a ton of them, but I think like at least like one good thing is like where I'm so used to it, like you just gotta like try to not take it too personal.
Yeah, I mean, so like, but there's some things I guess sometimes where it's like it's just too much. Like for instance, there was a time I guess maybe it was last year where there was like a petition to remove you off of YouTube. Like when you saw something like that, how did you feel seeing something so I guess like I don't know, it's not a hate comment, it's not like just a random
Yeah.
comment from a random account. Now it's just like an organized effort to remove you. How did you feel like when you saw that?
And see that kind of stuff, like that's the kind of stuff that like will especially kind of bother me.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like when you start doing that to people, it kind of goes past like just having an opinion or
Hmm.
hating or whatever, because like you're actually trying to like remove them off their platform. And then it makes me feel like really, really bad because like, I'm like really just like not trying to do anything wrong. Like I feel like they're is like some actual bad things like going on like on the internet and in the world. And then like when you just kind of see like these groups of people just kind of like, that are so against you to the point they want to get you banned, it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of scary.
It is scary because it's like, how far will these people go? And you've been on social media for a long
Exactly.
time. You've pretty much built your life online. So like, have you been, what's it called when like the police come to your house and they are swatted? Have you been like
Oh
swatted or things
yeah.
like that before? Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, is
It's
that
like it's
scary? Like,
awful.
why? Like, how does that
Yeah,
even
like
happen?
oh my gosh, there was like this one guy. It was actually years ago. It was like back
Uh-huh.
in like YouNow days. And he went by the name like probably Onion 2, I think was his username.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, it was like crazy. Like he started messaging me. I didn't know, like at the time it was so new to me, like with
Mhm.
swatting. I didn't know what any of this was.
Yeah.
So I was so confused. Like he knew my address somehow. And like he knew like all this info about me. And
Mhm.
he told me that he was gonna like basically like I guess send like these cops to my house and like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of this meant at the time. I was like, what? I didn't think there was any way it was gonna be like serious.
Mhm.
And it was so weird. It was crazy because we were actually not home at the time. We were up in Massachusetts, so we
Yeah.
were not even home. And then we get like a call from the police that there was like, well, actually, neighbors, I think, first started calling us and telling us there's like a zillion cars outside your house.
Really?
And we were like, what? And then I guess what this like probably Onion account did, like he sent an onion pizza to the house first. And then like right after he sent the SWAT team. It's
Weird.
so weird, right? I guess that's why he's probably Onion too. Cause
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like it's so bizarre. And then we heard I guess that like what he apparently said. I think he said he was my dad and that he was going to start shooting soon with like an AK something.
Oh my
And
god.
we like actually misinterpreted like when like they called us and we thought like my dad was like in the house like being held hostage and
Oh no.
like my family was like freaking out, like they were like going insane. And then we found out like no, it was basically this guy lied and said it made up this crazy
Could he
story.
get in
And
trouble for that? Like the
I
onion
think
guy?
eventually, but it took a long time, and
Really?
he had like a broken window from it because like the thing that's so scary is like if you're home, the police will actually have to like come in your house with like a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Like it looked like when we saw the photos, it looked crazy. And since then I've had people try like the same stuff
I
and
feel
it's
like you
like
had the police there like last year or something at some
yeah,
point,
like I'm
right?
always having police calling me. It's
That is
crazy.
so ridiculous. So at this point, I
Yeah.
mean, would you think that your county or whatever kind of like understands
Oh,
like
they definitely do at this point. Like at
yeah.
this point, like a lot of time they'll just kind of call me and be like, "Hey, we got another call."
Yeah.
And like just the other day, actually, I think it was yesterday, we just got another call from like another
Really?
social worker. It's
That is
like
insane.
yeah, they're like always calling these people and like it's like oh, like sometimes it's like crazy. They even called once on like our dog.
Yeah, I was gonna
To
say
say,
Buzz. Like you've got your dog
yeah,
Buzz, and he's so cute. And like
thank
I remember at
you.
some
He's
point
such a
someone was
good
like,
dog.
yeah, he's so sweet. And like someone was like saying something about his eye or something at one point, like it looked dry, which whatever. Like it's a dog, but like
Exactly.
they called on like Buzz, right? Like
Yeah, they literally called like the
No, I
what do you
say
call
something
them?
like that.
like the
Like
animal
those
services or something.
yeah, like
Yeah.
animal services. And then
Why'd you call me a bastard?
Eternal fire so I might walk free. By the gods. Can you ever forgive me?
Call me a bastard.
There's nothing to forgive. You wanted to protect the city. I only ever wanted the same.
You are a better man than most, and a better son than I deserve. I'll yet make amends, but my duty is first and foremost to the city and its people. There's something I must ask of you. Before I was captured, I was on a mission.
Good job, baby.
Returning from Elturel, I discovered the plans of the Absolutists. I immediately realized the city couldn't defend itself against such an army. I didn't despair, because the city has a secret guardian, a worm that sleeps beneath. He can be called upon in times of great need. This is such a time. You've been trained in the ways of the great champions and proven to be one of them. The worm will answer your call. You must seek him out. A bronze dragon, yes. He sleeps beneath us even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names. Ansur, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Balduran he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city has faced countless threats, but we always overcame. There was never a need to call on the worm. Until now. The Absolute is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. The worm must be awakened, and the task falls to you. Take this. The Legend of Ansur. An ancient epic. Ill-remembered. Dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you. Thank you. And may the city know the truth of my only son. Pride of Ravengard. Pride of Baldur's Gate.
What's on your mind? Where...
Here goes nothing.
What kind of girl do you take me for? Promiscuous girl. I'm all alone. Promiscuous boy. Then I'm all yours. What you waiting for? Promiscuous girl. Teasing me.
Careful.
We're one and the same. Roses are red, some diamonds are blue. Chivalry is dead, but you still kind of cute.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
I can't keep my mind off you. Where you at? I'm out of this world. Come with me to my plan. See if you can handle it. First name right, last name Brown. That's like, no, that's the wrong part. I'm a big girl. I can handle myself. So does everybody else. Shit. No.
All right. What now?
Assume nothing.
What?
Direct me. Still alive, so that's progress.
What kind?
How much farther can I go?
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. I don't mean no harm. I can see you with my t-shirt on. I can see you with nothing on. Girl, kind of freaky, you shouldn't say those things. I'm just trying to get inside your brain, see if you can work me the way that you say. It's okay, it's alright. I got something that you gon' like.
Can't give up now.
Almost pleasant traveling with company. I'm afraid you're stuck with me for now. I can't reach our camp from here. I'm afraid you're stuck with me for now.
Which way to the nearest library?
parasite stirs within the pickled brain, twitching. You are a steel watcher, charging through the streets in pursuit of a young girl. She is screaming. The parasite is too strong, and you can only watch as the little girl rounds a corner to find a dead end. She cries for her mother as you draw your lance, raising it above your head. You are kicked from the infected brain as the lance comes down. The brain in this jar is controlling a watcher on sentry duty at Worm's Rock. It patrols back and forth, vigilant for trouble. Your mind whirls as the brain, swimming with parasitic juices, connects with yours. With a jerk, your mind is transported. You look down, your body of pure steel and power whirring. A dwarf cowers before you.
Please, Mr. Steel Watcher, sir. I'll never steal again. I swear it on my mum's life. Just let me go.
You take control, but it is a struggle.
So...
You are kicked from the Watcher as the dwarf flees. The Watcher this brain controls is offline for maintenance. The brain dreams, images of life in a garden cottage in spring. The brain in this jar is aware that its Watcher is on duty in the control center, vast and throbbing with illithid telepathy. It ignores your mind touch as a mere distraction. Your tadpole eagerly responds to the parasite in the brain jar. You blink to find yourself standing at Worm's Crossing. You are a steel watcher.
Wanna come see my Minecraft?
Baldur's Gate. Before you stands a group of humans.
Okay.
He was flaming
Hang on, let me go to a good spot.
To empty our pockets if we wanted to enter the city. We didn't know
Okay,
it was a
I'm streaming.
scam. We have nothing left, and my kids are half starved. Please, let us into the city. We have nowhere else to go.
Are you looking?
You focus on the source of the power.
You see it?
Is quiet and
Doesn't say
still.
you're watching on Discord.
You can only watch as you reach for your sword. The family flees before
Okay.
you can draw it, heading for the risen road.
So, if we turn around,
ultimately, their deaths.
look at my factory. Where's this over here? But if you come up these steps,
Triples and quadrupex.
got this nice pathway that leads up to the main factory.
I hear it
And
from
look at
afar.
this.
Powerful, indestructible. The ultimate watcher. The Titan.
Indestructible. I'll reduce it to scrap metal before the day is done.
Honestly, I can make this better like really quickly. If I do this, this, and do this.
Beast of Gondian folly alone, I would be crushed in an instant. When it raises its shields,
I can cover all
strike
these
it
up.
with every scrap of magic and might you possess, and pray to God that it does not fire upon you. Good luck, my friend.
And then you got these up here. I don't want to cover these up. I like these. Covering of the conveyor belts really did add to it. That's it. I just wanted to show you that I made like a front entrance. And it looks pretty good, I think. I'm gonna go put my Reese's in the freezer so it gets cold. I like my Reese's cold. What does that mean, Haley? Hell yeah. You're like one of those weirdos who don't care if their chocolate's cold. And no. Wrong. No clap.
We had to have like the ladies come to our house, which it's really scary when you see that because it's like, you know, like we take great care of Buzz, so like nothing
Yeah.
was gonna happen. When they saw him too, they were like, "Yo, yeah, he seems like such a good, like well taken care of dog." Like we don't know why they called us, but they said, you know, if you, well, I mean, luckily like those girls are really nice, and I think they understood there was no problem. But it's like when you do that, you could like have someone's animal like taken away from them. So it's like it's just so crazy that people would like calling us for that when that's like so far from the truth.
Yeah.
And like I feel like you should really only be calling those resources like if you know that an animal is actually being abused and don't just call it on people that like love their pets and it's like such a serious thing to do. It's like it's
Yeah.
so weird.
And do these agencies are like, you know, so in police or animal services, like when they do come through, do they kind of like, when you say like, oh, I do social media, are they kind of like, oh, it makes sense? Or it kind of like helps, I guess, alleviate what they're investigating once they figure out you are an easy target, I guess.
Yeah, like at this point, I think they're really like understanding with that. The first time, which most of the cops are like really, really nice, luckily that I've had to like, you know, deal with this stuff. I think like at first, like the first time it happened with that onion guy, I think there were some of them that like just did not understand, like because they weren't used to, I guess, like dealing with these kind of situations. So they were just kind of like, why do you do this? Like this UNO site seems weird. Why is there like a girl's room? You
Yeah.
shouldn't be on here. And I'm like, oh, but God, you know, it's kind of like now this is like my job. And they're like, we could get a different job. You could, you, and you're like, oh, well, you're like one of the guys. Most of them are really good about it, but one of the
Yeah.
guys is like, oh, like you have your parents anyway. But I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just like do nothing? It's like I don't know. But luckily, most of the guys there like seem like once they understood it was like an internet situation, they were really, really understanding. And at this point, like one day, even like last year, like the cops actually wanted me to just kind of go like visit the office and kind of meet the cops and
Really?
meet everybody around there just so
Yeah.
they kind of like, yeah, okay, now we know what's
Huh? What?
all's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Indolence breeds madness.
At least things have stayed interesting.
answer is seeing an AP Rel jungle on your own team. My teammates insist that I seek mental help for locking in this abomination in my ranked games, but I insist it'll work one day. Now, it might not be today, and it might not be tomorrow, but one day, I promise. Now, AP Rel jungle does have its strengths, and one of those includes the case. Look at how well I've soloed the enemy mid laner, and I secure the cannon for myself. Team fighting is where Rel really shines, as you can see in this next clip. The enemy team is so scared of my presence that they don't know how to handle me. Watch how my teammate strategically gets them low while I do all the dirty work. If you want to play a champion that's clunky, slow, and does no damage, even if you build damage on them, definitely give AP Rel jungle a try. And always remember, it's not a loss as long as you had fun. Scarier than
Hello? What?
This is terrible.
Eager for battle.
Excellent choice.
You'll be left in the dust unless I stuck by you.